It's complicated, I think, because honestly, I'm of the opinion that if you're recording and this stuff exists, you run the risk when you're releasing it to the public of desensitization to things like this. And I think that's been true of just average citizens covering police brutality. It's also, including, seeing cop recorded things as well. And I think where the desensitization comes in when it comes to seeing these videos, seeing these acts of violence, and not seeing any repercussions happen to the people who perpetrated these acts of violence, I think that's where you get to see like, oh wow, there's horrible things happening, but nothing ever happens because of them. So I think that's where you run the risk of, releasing. And I think, yes, I understand how a police department has an interest of protecting their officers from a mob mentality. Because in reality, you got to think about a police body camera, even in the best situation where you're saying that, hey, look, I'm recording audio, I'm recording video, but also it's stationary. It's based on where I was standing at the time of the crime. And if I am, for example, in a standoff with a mentally ill person who, and I'm a police officer and I'm currently behind the door of my vehicle, and because I don't know if this person has a weapon or whatever, who knows, your view might be obstructed. And, when there's, I've seen examples where, you hear shots fired off screen and you hear what's being said and, you never know, like, was the guy running at you? Was his back, was he backing up? Did he, and those are things that if you don't, even with that stuff there, sometimes a little bit of information that is misleading could make things worse. So, I think that's definitely a slippery slope you can go down. And when it comes to making decisions like that, I would like to think the judiciary should be the people who are making the decision of, like, you should be able to make an argument from the defense's point of view and from the police department's point of view, or even vice versa when it comes to, a police department wanting to use this to prove, the guilt of somebody. I think being able to come together and make an argument to an independent judge to say, what is best. But I also think that judges inherently have a police bias. They are inherently more willing to believe law enforcement, I'd like to think, because they're part of the state. They are, and it's not in a way that, like, they're all colluding together or anything like that. It's just that as an institution or an arm of the state, they respect it in a way that I think, and respect the protection of it in a way that maybe might be slightly unbalanced. But I think it might be the best thing that you could do, because I don't think there's any perfect solution for that.